Now, you've probably seen people get up and down off the floor by crossing their legs, squatting down, and then standing back up again. Or crossing their legs, dropping down into a deep squat, and then standing back up again. Now, if you're one of those people that can do that, either way, good for you, that's great, keep it going. But I found in my practice, especially as we start to get older, that's a pretty hard transfer to do for a lot of people. So in this video, I'm going to show you a bit more of a practical way to get up and down as we start to get older. And I found that my clients in their 70s and 80s can do it this way for the most part versus the whole cross-legged thing. The first way I'll show you, which is the hardest, is just to not use your hands at all and to get up and down without your hands. The second way I'll show you is if you need some hand on that leg, like maybe you need a chair, and then slowly using my arms and my right leg. And the third way I'll show you is basically using an electric chair, and then it's going to raise the whole chair up. Significant mobility or strength. Now this chair is good for people all the way up to 300 pounds. So either way, I'll have you covered no matter where your functional ability is. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you 3 of my favorite arm and leg strengthening exercises that you can incorporate into your program that's going to help you transfer up off the floor as independently and as safely as you can. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Ed DeBoo, physical therapist from Integrated Physical Therapy in Bellingham, Washington. As part of my assessment on clients who are in their 70s and 80s, is I like to see how well they get up and down off the floor and how much support they need and where they might struggle. Your long-term goal is to be able to get up and down off the floor with the least amount of support as possible. And I actually recommend to my clients to get on the floor daily so we're practicing that movement. So unfortunately, if we do ever slip and fall, and we don't get seriously hurt, we will be able to get ourselves back up and it won't be such a novel foreign activity. Let's take a look at 2 of my rock star clients, both well into their 80s, as they get up and down off the floor and show you that it can be done.
Our client you're going to meet, she's a wonderful 84 years old, lives by herself, is very independent, still drives, gets down on the floor, daily does her exercises. She also walks daily, she does Tai Chi, Pilates, and she goes to the gym 5 days a week. And look how she just sits straight up. She makes it look easy, but that is actually a lot harder to do than it appears. And she's doing absolutely wonderful. Next rock star, she's 82. Her and her husband travel the world when it's not in COVID. She gets up and down off the chair independently without using her arms. 1 finger to get down. She wanted to show that to me. It's down on the floor. When she first came to me, she did an 8-second plank. She's now up to do a 2-minute plank at 82 years old. Rolls to her side, gets up, quadruped, 1 hand for a little support, and she gets back up again.
Now what happens if you have fallen on the ground? The first thing I recommend is rolling onto your back and just laying there for a minute or 2, because falling down can be pretty traumatic. And then what we have to do is we have to determine whether or not we have gotten hurt. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do a little body scan, and we'll just start down below at the feet and ankles first. So slowly start moving your ankles around, pump them up and down a little bit, just checking to see if they're moving okay, if there's any pain. Then what I want you to do is slide 1 leg up and back down. Here we're just getting an idea of the function of the knee, making sure everything is okay. Now we come up to the hip, you're going to bend your leg up, and then you're going to slowly drop your hip out to the side. Drop it out to the side, get an idea how it moves. Same thing with the other side, bend it up and drop it out. Then what I'll have you do is slide your hip to the outside and back in, slide it back out and back in. Now we come up to the hands. Make sure that we haven't hurt our wrists or anything, so we're going to do little wrist circles. We're going to bend our elbows up and down. And then just 1 at a time, we're just going to slowly bring our arms up, making sure that we don't have any significant pain. Now, we can assume that hopefully we haven't gotten hurt. Now what we have to do is get onto our side. So what I'll have you do is you're going to bend the opposite leg of where you want to roll. Then bring your arm out to the side, bring this arm up, and as you bring your arm over, you're going to log roll over to that side. And then when you're here, I want you to slide this arm in, and we're going to see if we can slowly come up to a sitting position. Now, once I'm in a sitting position, ideally what I want you to do is to get onto all fours. In order to do that, I'm going to push down with my left hand, and I'm going to push my left knee into the ground to lift up that hip. So hand, knee, and I'm going to get onto all fours. Once I'm on all fours, I can use a variety of ways to get myself up to standing. Now, what if you can't get onto all fours? So let's go back down, and if I'm in this position here, and I can't seem to get myself up, what you can do is come over here, and if you need to, you can inch yourself to a chair or to furniture or something to get yourself to a safer position. Now let's assume you can get yourself into a hands and knees position, where once again I'm reaching across with my right hand, pushing my knee in, I'm lifting my buns up, and now I'm on hands and knees. If I need to, I can slowly crawl somewhere where I can use a chair or some sort of support to get myself up. Now unfortunately you can see that poor Romeo has fallen down, and apparently he can't get up because he's been laying here for well over an hour. I'll do doggy transfers in my next video. So first of all, I'll show you a more practical way to get up and down off the floor, but this is also the hardest because I'm not using any props or anything like that. What you'll do is you're going to step forward with your strong leg. So hopefully you have one leg that feels a little bit stronger than the other, and we're going to go into a lunge position. I'm going to put my hands on my knees if I need to, just for a little bit of support. So in my situation here, I'm going to bring my right leg forward, and my hands are going to be on my knees, and then I'm going to slowly come down into a kneeling position. And then once I'm here, left hand for a little bit of balance, kick this leg back, and now I'm in my hands and knees position, and then whichever side I want to, I can go ahead and side sit down. To get myself back up like we did earlier, hand on the ground, reach across, left knee is going to push in, come up to a hands and knees position. Once again, take my strong leg and bring it in front of me. Get my balance, both my hands on my knees for a little extra support, and then I can use my arms as well to help me get up. And there you go. Some of my clients have a compromised sense of balance. Then we can use a stable piece of furniture like a chair to give us some support. In this situation, the technique is still the same, but I'm going to use this chair for support. I'm going to bring my strong leg in front, put my hand on that leg, and then slowly using my arms and my right leg, I'm going to lower myself down. Then I'm going to come through here, get on hands and knees, and there I go. Coming back up, hands and knees, hands up on the chair, strong leg, and I'm going to lean forward in my back foot too. You see I can come up onto my toes. That way I can use my back leg a little bit as well too. Hands, right knee, and I'm going to push myself up to a standing position. Now I do have some clients that have pretty significant strength and mobility issues, and if they have fallen but yet haven't gotten hurt, luckily, it's just about impossible for them to get up by themselves. And oftentimes their family members, which may be a spouse, are unable to necessarily do it themselves, so then short of having to call a neighbor or an ambulance or lay on the floor, it's very challenging. So I do recommend an electric lift chair, and this particular one is a great unit. It's from MadeSite. It weighs about 30 pounds, so there is a little bit of weight to it, but at least it is portable. It comes readily assembled. All you have to do is charge the controller for about 2 hours first, and then you're ready to go. You would lift this up, and then the client would have to get themselves onto the chair. You may have to help them scoot if they can't get onto the chair themselves, but at the end of the video when I go over exercises, there'll be some arm exercises so that they can hopefully do this themselves. And they would come and they would sit into the chair and have the chair next to another piece of furniture. Then all you would do is grab the remote control and hit the green up arrow, and it's going to raise the back first, and then it's going to raise the whole chair up. Now this chair is good for people all the way up to 300 pounds, so it's got a great weight capacity. You're going to hold on to the button until it stops. It's going to bring you all the way up to a sitting height. Now for some clients, once they're at this height, they can go ahead and stand up and they're okay. For other clients, they still don't have the mobility to do that, and that's where a slide transfer comes in. So next to a couch or another piece of furniture, they would use their arms and their legs. That's why it's important to keep your arms strong. And you're going to slide over to the chair or to the bed, and work your way in, and then now you're safe. Another bonus use of this chair is in the bathtub. It's completely waterproof, and it's got these 6 suction cups that keeps it firmly onto the tub. So let's take a look real quick to see what it would look like in the bathtub. The unit does weigh about 30 pounds, so you will need some help to get it into the tub. And then once it's in the tub, you want to try to keep it as close as you can to this edge. And then we bring this up, and then we raise it up. You're going to turn around, and if you need a grab bar, if you need something to hold on to, but reach back and slowly sit down. And then once you're sitting here, it's just a question of flipping your legs into the tub. And then you've got your handle here, and I'm just going to press the arrow down, and into the imaginary water I go. Now let's talk about 3 exercises that, if you can incorporate into your program, are really going to help you maintain your independence with your transfers. And then of course be careful if you have a dog like Romeo that wants to be right where the action is. This is basically a chair squat. So you're going to find yourself a comfortable chair. You're going to fold your arms across your chest. And let's see first if you can do a sit-stand without using your hands. So fold your arms across your chest. Now remember, I don't want you to collapse this way. I want you to stay nice and tall, and I want you to lean forward from the hips. And what we say is nose over toes. So I want you to bring your nose over your toes and then stand up. And then when you sit back down, really make sure that you reach back for the chair and then sit down. Now, if you need a little bit of a boost because you can't do a sit stand, then it's fine to put your hands here. Once again, nose over toes, a little push with my hands, and then I'm up. Another option is to raise the chair up a little bit to make it easier for you to go from a sit stand position. When we're doing this as strengthening, what I recommend is 3 sets, probably if you can 10 to 15 repetitions, ideally 2 to 3 times per week. The second exercise is going to help you once you get into this half kneel position to be able to stand up straight. You're going to straddle your legs, you're going to stand up nice and tall. If you notice my back foot, I'm up on my toes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my arm for support on the chair as well as on my knee, and then I'm just going to squat down as far as I can comfortably and then back up. And even if they're just little mini squats at first, I'm okay with that. If you need a second chair to give you more support, that's fine. But then as you start to get stronger, I want you to come all the way down and then back up again. If you find that you don't like to weight bear on that knee, go ahead and throw a pillow down. Do me a favor and don't tell Elizabeth that I'm putting these pillows on the ground. Just keep it between us. Down. And then when I'm here, I'm going to use my back foot, my front leg, my right arm, and my left arm to help slowly bring myself back up. And then of course you would do the same thing on the other side. Third exercise is to help get our arms stronger. As you could tell with some of the other transfers, the stronger our legs and arms are, the easier it is. We may have to pull ourselves up, we may have to push ourselves up, so it's really important to get upper body strengthening too. So you'll need a sturdy chair with armrests. You're going to sit at the edge of the chair, you're going to have your feet tucked underneath you, and then you're going to lean forward once again, nose over toes, don't collapse your spine. Hip hinge, keep your back nice and straight and hinge at the hip, nose over toes, and then I'm going to use my arms to straighten out and then back down again. So I'm not going all the way up. I'm using my arms to do as much of the work as I can. I'm pausing at the top and I'm coming back down again. Now what if I can't do that? Same thing, get a pillow and put it on the chair. That raises the chair up a little bit, and now it's easier for me to use my arms to push myself up. As you start to get stronger, you can inch your legs out a little bit further. So now it takes the legs out of the equation a little bit more. And I'm going to work with my arms, and it's a little bit harder this time with my legs out in front of me, so I'm getting a nice strengthening response into my tricep area. Remember to work on strength and mobility every day by getting yourself on the floor when it's not a crisis situation, and you can practice it. So in case you ever need it, you've got it in your back pocket. I'll put a link down below to the Mateside electric chair if that's something that you want to check out. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them down below. Make sure you subscribe and ding, turn on your notification so you never miss another one of my videos. All right, take care, be safe, and work on your mobility. Get on the floor. Let me know down below if you get on the floor. Take care. We'll see you at the next video.